One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Felony Friday, as Jimmy Mack in the chat says. Absolutely great to see everyone. All right, so we have a lot to discuss, as we always do. It seems like it, every single morning in the last, I would give an honest, the last 6 months has just been crazy. So leading up to now, current times, of course, it's going to be crazy. So anyways, Trump-Iran, Hormuz clash, of course, as well as peace talks ahead, and Artemis splashdown, which is supposed to be happening, I believe, today. I'm not really keeping too up to date with the whole Artemis 2 mission, but I do know that the splashdown is supposed to happen like today, or tomorrow, something very close. Anyways, so let me go ahead and give you guys a chronological breakdown of what we're going to be looking at this morning. We got some lengthy segments, some short segments. As you guys know, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. We skip through the BS anyways. Whether it's long or short, doesn't matter. All right, so the first story we're going to be covering this morning is Israel's Netanyahu authorizes talks with Lebanon after deadly strikes. Yes, as you guys know, it's been kind of crazy in the regards of, are they involved in the quote-unquote ceasefire? Are they not? So that's a lot of the questions that are happening here. Anyways, another very interesting thing that happened yesterday, yesterday evening, I guess, $267 million hospice fraud ring busted in California, yo. All right, let me read this. We are watching as California Attorney General Rob Bonta and the Department of Health Care Services announce the takedown of a $267 million healthcare fraud ring in the state. Montana said during a press conference detailing the operation on Thursday that the investigation culminated with search and arrest warrants executed at 12 locations across Southern California. Known as Operation Skip Trace is the name of the operation there. Law enforcement reportedly seized $757,000 in cash and 2 firearms during the raid. Very interesting. We got another interesting development over there in California. A bear cat runs over, kills shooting suspect in California. Now, I'm not really too sure what's happening with this whole thing, but let me go ahead and read it a little bit. The suspect accused of shooting and killing a sheriff's deputy in California is now dead, according to the county sheriff, Mike. I can't say his last name. His last name is Wild. The suspect was killed when a bear cat, an armored vehicle, ran him over. Very interesting. And I think we reported that whole thing when the guy ran into the side of a building. Well, we reported that yesterday. Maybe this is a whole different ordeal. We're going to find that out together here in a minute, so we'll come back to that. Portland lockdown. Man threatens firefighters with a knife. Why are you threatening the firefighters? I mean, I totally get it if it's like, you know, the guys that are taking away your freedom or some shit like that. But why are you going after the firefighters, man? Why are you pulling knives on firefighters? That's not cool. And then we got lawmakers call for investigation into Polymarket's geopolitical bets. Now, as you guys know, Polymarket is that one website / whatever, gambling, whatever it is. It gives you the odds of percentages of whatever the topic is. Is Trump going to get impeached in the next year? And then they'll give a Polymarket prediction of the percentage of that question, right? So that's very interesting that they're being questioned like that. Then we have Ron latest. This is coming out 2 hours ago. Vance speaks ahead of talks in Pakistan. As you guys know, they're doing that quote-unquote meeting, negotiations a little bit over there in Pakistan. And basically, Iran officials and our officials are going to be sitting down at the same hotel, actually, in Pakistan. So it says Vance spoke to reporters about negotiations. He said if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, the U.S. absolutely will. So the Iranians, just an hour ago, Iranians used as quote-unquote human shields amid strikes. And as you guys know, that is something that is not even surprising at this point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and basically get the call to actions over real quick, and then we'll go ahead and hang out with all of you guys here in a minute. Real quick, we got a big special shout out. We got Sterling Wheel coming in with the $42, by the way. It's just $4.20 with an extra zero. And he sends in a birthday cake saying, birthday live IWF tomorrow. Yes, sir. So yes, tomorrow morning or tomorrow is my birthday, and we'll be turning 31. And of course, we're going to be doing members only live stream tomorrow, so it's going to be a great ass time. As always, we always have a good time on members only. But Sterling Will, thank you again for that that is a humongous donation, man. I'm very honored and blessed with that. Thank you for your endless support, my man. All right, so let's go ahead and do our call to actions. We'll get right into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, double tap that screen if you guys are on the vertical side. Make sure you guys also hit that subscribe button. This is what we do Monday through Friday, and of course, members only on Saturday morning. Now, speaking of members, please consider becoming a member, starting only at $3.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to be on these airwaves as well as to have these lights on. So thank you guys for becoming members and staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, as well as the campaign trail, man. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one and follow up on all the things that we're doing outside of this show. And also, we have a Discord server for all of you legends where we continue the conversation. We're only on here for an hour each day, and we're able to continue the conversation. In the video description down below is an invite link for you guys to join up on that. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms that are scrolling around the screen somewhere, and anytime you guys can donate to that, and I get 100% of the proceeds. And of course, I'll shout out anything that you guys send me, just like I'll read it out loud like a super chat. So I've got my emails up, and I'm always scanning. Real quick, we got Sterling Will also gifting out 5 gifted memberships. Let's get it. Not only helping me, but 5 others in the Insane Wheels family, my man. Thank you very much, Sterling Will, making the birthday celebrations start off fantastic. So I appreciate that. All right, good to see everyone in the chat, by the way. I very much appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us this morning. I'm going to try my best to go fly down this list real quick. We got Gary as well as Charles Darwin from Down Under. Good morning to you guys. We got KP in the building. Let's see here. We're running our way down. We got Jimmy Mack. Yeah, absolutely. We got Cameron in the building. Shout out to you as well. We got Steve Easy as well as Sick Bastard. Shout out to you, by the way. Scrolling our way down as fast as humanly possible. We got Rhodey in the building. Shout out to you. Good morning as well. We got Rapid F Chaos. Thank you for being here. We got Roland, which is Dean. Good morning to you over there in California. We're rolling our way down. We got Real Alien Encounter. Good to see you, by the way. Good morning to you. Let's see. We're rolling fast as possible. We got Pops in the building as well. Shout out to you. We got Brother Sims in the building. Shit, my man. Good to see you in the building as well, Job. Always appreciate you. Sterling sending out that birthday cake. Absolutely. Very much appreciate that. Check your phone. Donation there too, bro. Happy early birthday. What? What are you talking about, cuh? Oh, shit. You sent me... dude, it's so funny because it's not available for you guys, but if you guys have my personal phone number and you have an iPhone, you guys can send me Apple Cash or whatever. So I very much appreciate that, my man. You just sent in $30 on the Apple Cash. So I very much appreciate that, brother Sims. Thank you very much for that, by the way. We got Tiffany Lance in the building. Shout out to you, by the way. Good morning to you, as well as Seymour Cannabis. Very much appreciate that you as well. And it's making me do all these prompts to like accept that money. That's super weird. Let me see if it allows me to do it. And now it's asking for my social security. What? That's fucking crazy. That is so funny. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Yeah, because this is Apple Cash, and I don't use Apple Cash like that, so I haven't used basically any of these programs. So on Apple, verify. Let's see if it takes it. Oh, now it wants my fucking ID. Yeah, right. I'll do that after the show. All right, we got Liquored Up with Poncho. Good morning to you as well. We got Rocky Strong as well in the building. We got Lissa Lay. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Hopefully all is well. We got Papa Penguin as well. Good morning to you. All right, we got to get right into it. We got a lot of shit going on. Sorry if I missed your guys' comments. I'm trying my absolute damnness.
Welcome back into live now from Fox. I'm Ryan Schmelz.
I got a question for this guy. I got a real question.
Why are you gay?
Just asking.
Breaking news out of Lebanon, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that he has authorized direct negotiations with the Lebanese government regarding Beirut. We'll have this statement here from Netanyahu already. Let's go ahead and
no, you're good. I'll accept it when I'm off the show. But thank you very much, bro. That definitely goes a long fucking way, man. Thank you for that.
let up, saying this, quote, in light of Lebanon's repeated request to open direct negotiations.
Naomi, good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Let me go ahead and back this up a little bit so you guys can hear it.
Already, let's go ahead and pull that up, saying this, quote, in light of Lebanon's repeated request to open direct negotiations with Israel, I instructed at the government meeting yesterday to open direct negotiations with Lebanon as soon as possible. The negotiations will focus on the disarmament of Hezbollah and the establishing of peaceful relations between Israel and Lebanon. Israel appreciates the call made today by the Prime Minister of Lebanon to demilitarize Beirut. Now, we also have this from the Israeli Defense Forces earlier today as well. Eliminated Mar Qasim Hamadan, the commander of the Lebanese Resistance Brigade's terrorist organization in the...
What's up, Big Dan? Good morning. I guess they're showing from the IDF over here that there was another elimination. The commander of the Lebanese Resistance Brigade's terrorist organization in the Chaba area in southern Lebanon.
Area in southern Lebanon, Hamdan.
Thank you for that, Big Dan.
Responsible for terrorist recruitment, weapons supply, and funding the Lebanese resistance brigades in Shabab. 8 additional terrorists who were fleeing the Shabab area to the Sudan area were eliminated. We also have this from...
Oh, yeah, we got to get the likes up. We have over 100 people between both the live streams. Make sure you guys get the likes up. Double tap that screen. And we got Virginia Chaos in the building. Shout out to my man VC. Good morning to you as well. Happy fucking Friday.
Fox News, Iran is taking aim at Israel as a fragile ceasefire is already beginning to show cracks. Tehran is blasting IDF strikes against Lebanon as a flagrant violation of the agreement and warning negotiations won't matter if they continue. Iranian President Mossad Bagheri's insistence the regime will never abandon Lebanon just days before peace talks between the U.S. and Islamic Republic are scheduled to take place. Now,
pause. We got my man, Big Al Patterson, coming in with the $5 on the Cash App saying, happy birthday, my man. Thank you very much for that. Making it rain in the Cash App. Thank you very much for that. It definitely goes a long way, man.
Keep in mind, we do have Vice President J.D. Vance, as well as Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, one of President Trump's envoys.
I got you, Steve.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Heading to Islamabad to have negotiations on a potential ceasefire with Iran and in further peace talks and potential easing of the conflict that is expected to take place this weekend. Certainly, there's a lot that could happen there. We've had a lot of different information that's come out over the last week. We had the White House come out yesterday.
Oh, you don't even have to tell me. Shit is flip-flopping every couple of hours.
And push back on some of this narrative that the Iranian state media has been putting out there, saying that Iran put out a 10-part proposal to the United States as part of negotiations, and instead of what's been out there put out by the Iranians, President Trump sent them a 15-point proposal for things that he wants to have in there.
Correct. And now you've got to also remember, it seems like all three sides right now, like every side actually, has like a different 10-point plan, a 15-point plan, whatever. We have a 15. They were saying it's honestly, I think that there's a miscommunication in all of this. And also the language barrier doesn't help either necessarily. But nonetheless, it seems like to me that it's definitely like we think that we've got this list and demands, and meanwhile they have and read something totally different, and they have something totally different. It's very weird. But we've been watching it kind of unfold in chaos.
And essentially, they've been working off of those two different proposals, 10 from the Iranians, then 15 from President Trump. So Caroline Levitt came out yesterday and tried to set the record straight on a lot of that, because you had the Iranian government put out a statement not too long ago yesterday, right before the White House press briefing was supposed to get underway, saying that the Strait of Hormuz was now closed. Well, Caroline Levitt came out, said that that is unacceptable for the White House and for President Trump. And so there was a lot of pushback from the White House going on there.
Shit, at this point, Cameron, it's like, yeah, we got a 45-point proposal from everybody. This is fucking crazy. All right, we're gonna move on though. Something that happened over there in California, a $267 million hospice fraud ring was busted in California. Let's go ahead and bring this up and quickly discuss it here.
We do want to go out to California. Earlier today, the Attorney General making some statements on hospice fraud allegations. Let's listen in.
Use Google Translate. Yeah, that's right.
The stack is probably a little better to get tighter.
Sign blocker.
Oh, it's directly.
Okay, just get to it. I'm gonna go ahead and
Excellent. Well, thanks everyone.
There we
Appreciate
go.
you being here. Grateful for your presence, and good morning. I'm California Attorney General Rob Bonta. Welcome to our office here in Los Angeles. We're here today to announce the results of a massive hospice fraud bust in Los Angeles County, and it's called Operation Skip Trace. Operation Skip Trace uncovered and ended a hospice fraud scheme that defrauded Medi-Cal of $267 million. So just to be clear,
What's up, Ghost? Great to see you in the chat, by the way. Good morning. Happy Felony Friday.
$250 million. Over. Funds that are paid for by California taxpayers, funds that are meant to provide care to Californians in need. It is unacceptable, it is illegal, and we will not stand for it. Last Thursday, we filed...
Oh, shit. We gotta make a little pause here. We got Virginia Chaos gifting out 5 gifted memberships, man. Let's go. Not only helping me, but 5 others in the Breakfast Club and the Insane Wheels family, man. I very much appreciate that. Definitely goes a long way. Let's fucking go, man.
Felony criminal charges against 21 suspects, including healthcare fraud,
Damn.
money laundering.
Hold on. Not only Virginia Chaos did you send this, but at the same time, you sent also a Cash App, bro. Wow, that's super selfless. He sent $20 on the Cash App saying, for gas for your birthday travel. Man, thank you very much for that. $20 on the Cash App as well. Man, I'm very honored by that, by the way. Thank you. We got Sterling Wheel as well, gifting out 5 as well, man. Wow. You guys are absolutely incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. Thank you very much, Sterling Wheel. That is now 10 gifted, I believe, from you.
And identity theft. And yesterday,
up,
we
Cody?
successfully executed search and arrest warrants at 10 separate locations and arrested 5 suspects so far throughout Southern California. I'm going to break down the details of this operation in a moment, but first, I just want to make one point very clear. This is just the latest example of the California DOJ's longstanding, ongoing, and successful efforts to combat hospice and Medi-Cal fraud. We have been doing this work for years. We've been doing it successfully.
What's up, Jack?
Before certain people in this country decided to think about it for the first time.
Doomerang.
We will continue to do this work. Heads down, sleeves rolled up, important investigative work, prosecutorial work. I also want to make clear, this is our case, a California case, from beginning to end. My office worked on it. We worked on it with the
What's up, Lily? Good morning to you. Happy Felony Friday.
Department of Healthcare Services, the Franchise Tax Board, and other partner agencies. This is a California case. We will prosecute this case. We will have it from beginning to end. While healthcare fraud might be President Trump's shiny new political talking point, California DOJ has been going after healthcare fraud since 1979. For decades, Trump is late to the party. Protecting taxpayer dollars and protecting programs sick and vulnerable Californians rely on have been our priority for nearly 5 decades. Our division of Medicare fraud and elder abuse, also known as DMFEA, is one of the most aggressive and dynamic Medicaid fraud control units in the nation. Just since I came into this office in 2021, DMFEA has conducted nearly 300 hospice-related investigations, filed 119 hospice-related criminal cases, and secured 51 hospice-related convictions. So while some are just starting to discover this issue, we have been on it, holding people accountable, taking down criminal operations. That's just talking about our hospice fraud work.
Yo, Cody, that is savage work right there. Cody says, only 267 million? LOL. I'm from Minnesota where we do billions. That's fucking savage, bro.
Which is only one part of the anti-fraud work DMFEA conducts. Over the last decade, DMFEA has recovered a total of $1.54 billion in civil and criminal Medi-Cal fraud cases. This is our area of expertise. Someone don't lean on the lights. This is our area of expertise. It's our bread and butter. It's what we do. And we will continue to do it. And one of the reasons we're so successful is our partnership with other California agencies. This is collaborative work. This is partnership work. In the case of Operation Skip Trace, that included Governor Newsom and his office. We're grateful to Governor Newsom's leadership and partnership.
Oh, my goodness.
Why are you gay?
It included the California Department of Healthcare Services and the California Health and Human Services Agency, which is represented today by Secretary Kim Johnson, who you will hear from in a moment. I am grateful for all of their partnerships. We couldn't do this work without them. This is a collective, joint, collaborative effort. The success is because of the partnership. This was not only...
Now, you go and keep saying this was. Just tell us what the fucking case is, okay? Just tell us what the deal is, right?
This is of a tip of alleged hospice fraud at 14 companies. DOJ's DMFEA.
Now, I skipped ahead to go ahead and get to this.
In Medi-Cal fraud and elder abuse, my team investigated those 14 companies, plus a billing company, and 8 individuals suspected of money laundering.
So 8 out of all those companies were suspected. Real quick, we got Glare 1%er coming in with the $5, saying Cali wouldn't need to spend millions to find hundreds of millions if they would hire people that actually did their jobs. Yo! Great to see you in the chat, Brother Glare. Hopefully you're enjoying your Felony Friday as well. And we got TVT up there in Canada as well. Good morning to you, kind sir. Great to see you in the chat, bro.
We found that those involved in this fraud,
thank you, Glare,
in this
for the
scheme,
5 spot,
would purchase personal identifying information for people who live outside of California on the dark web, and then enroll them into covered California, posing as California residents. Straw owners then bought up a number of hospice companies and began billing Medi-Cal for non-existent services for those stolen identities. They used fake records, non-existent offices, and fake diagnoses to justify these claims. Meanwhile, the so-called patients were healthy, out of state, and completely unaware that they had been enrolled in hospice care.
What?
Once the money was paid out, it was funneled through a complex web of over 130 shell companies and hidden across bank accounts, payment apps, and cryptocurrency to evade detection. The money was laundered. As I said, the scheme racked up approximately $267 million in fraudulent billing.
And that's facts, Cameron. You guys don't have to like all the craziness that's happening around the world or in our own nation, whatever, but you guys can like it for me and what we're doing here. So thank you guys for your laborious work on hitting that like button and double tapping the screen if you guys are on the vertical side.
So far, our team has already recovered more than $30 million, with more to come. And we worked with DHCS and the Controller's Office to stop checks worth more than $40 million. This scheme, this criminal operation was no accident. It wasn't a case of billing errors, cutting corners, or upcharging care. This was a brazen, calculated criminal scheme that exploited the Medi-Cal system, stole from the state of California and Medicaid, and prevented services and care from going to sick individuals who actually need it. We've put an end to this fraud, and we intend to prosecute the perpetrators to the fullest extent of the law. They are facing prison time from 10 to 16 years. Let this be a lesson to anyone.
Hey, Lily, I can't argue that. You know what I mean? I really can't argue that. Appreciate that.
Targeting Medi-Cal and hospice care in California. We're on the case, and we're coming.
We are ready to start the bird conference.
California
Oh
has
shit! That
a
was
no
over. That was we were hearing the inside of Orion over there. All of a sudden,
tolerance
shit.
policy for fraud. We're laser focused on rooting out and eradicating fraud that targets our programs, hurts our people, and steals from our state. At California DOJ, that includes the work the MFEA does day in and day out to snuff out Medi-Cal fraud, including hospice fraud. To claim this is a uniquely California problem is ludicrous. Just plainly
It's uniquely an American problem.
untrue. False. Anywhere there's money flowing, anywhere bad actors sniff out an opportunity to seize ill-gotten gains, there's risk of fraud. In California, yes, and also in every other state. While President Trump, First Assistant, Saley, and Dr. Oz try to villainize California to score political points, the truth is that the federal government has also increased oversight into hospice fraud in Texas, in Georgia, and in Ohio, among other states. This is a serious issue across the nation, no doubt, which is why California DOJ, together with the governor and our partners across agencies, are serious about tackling it head-on and have been doing so for years. It's why we've been on the case for decades, hardening government systems, protecting critical assistance programs, and arresting fraudsters who see our public programs as their piggy banks. While Trump, Saley, and Oz have deemed fraud the flavor of the month in their attempt to resurrect Trump's plummeting approval rating, California DOJ, our law enforcement agents, our investigators, our prosecutors,
I think, you know what is a good time for us to do right now? It's just to quickly, get our sandwich on. You know
Man,
what I mean?
motherfuckers talk all the shit they want. But you see me, I'm sitting up here snacking on this big ass sandwich, not getting a fuck. Kiss my dick, motherfucker.
Perfect. All right, here we go.
have been on the ground in our communities, fighting fraud, fighting waste, and fighting abuse for years. This is not a political game for us. This is about protecting public funds, serving our residents, delivering programs that sick and vulnerable Californians need. Tackling fraud isn't and should never be partisan or political. I've said it before, and
Yeah, that shit happens to us nonstop, Steve.
I'll say it again. We welcome partnership with the federal government that actually aims to tackle fraud, that puts serving the public above political sparring. In the meantime, California will continue doing the work, continue doing what we have done, and we will continue to do that important work to tackle fraud. I encourage the public to do their part too. Anyone who believes they've witnessed or experienced hospice fraud can submit a complaint on our website, oag.ca.gov/DMF.
Yeah, no kidding, Seymour. Truly, who gets affected by all this is the taxpayer. Sadly, that's what ends up happening.
EA/reporting. You can also call us toll free at 800-722-0432. 722-0432. Anyone who believes they've witnessed a false claim against the state can contact DOJ's Public Inquiry Unit. You can find more information on our website at oag.ca.gov/contact or call the unit directly at 800-952-5225. We also have specific landing pages for...
We don't need to hear that. All right, we're going to move on. We got Bearcat runs over and kills shooting suspect in California. Let's go ahead and bring this up. The Bearcat is that big armored vehicle that police use.
Well,
here we go.
Not too long after that press briefing wrapped up, the one we just showed you before the break, they did come back to the camera. We have a refeed of it. This was just moments ago, the sheriff stepping back in front of the media.
Sheriff, y trayéndole todos los detalles que se puedan decir aquí las autoridades en instantes. As I told you, this was very fluid. Even as I walked over here, I knew there was a lot of activity and a lot going on. The suspect was laying prone on the ground in camouflage clothing, continuing to pose a threat. The situation's resolved. The suspect is now dead. He was not shot.
He was ran over.
One of the Bearcats ran over him and killed him.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Any questions?
You said any questions?
Oh,
Motherfucker
was. Yeah.
Ran him over. Any questions?
This happened when I was talking to you. When I picked up the phone, they were calling and telling me, and I knew I had to answer the phone because it's, I'm over here, it's an active scene, and I'm trying to keep you informed as I can, but I'm letting my teams do their work. And we're happy that this resulted in no further officers being injured. We're happy that no citizens were harmed in any way. This gentleman created this situation. And as you indicated with your question earlier, it makes no sense. Not wanted for anything. You know, which beckons, does he have a mental health issue? Does he just, you know, was he just becoming violent for unknown reasons?
Yeah, and they also don't take one-legged men either, you know, Steve Easy, so I'm good. I'm in the clear, too.
We don't know. We may never know the answer to it. But what I can say is he's no longer alive, and that's the way I prefer it. And we're thankful to the community for being so cooperative. We're actually thankful to our media for keeping the information out there. We're very appreciative of Fresno Police Department and their work of intelligence gathering. Porterville Police Department, Visalia Police Department, Kern County Sheriff's Office, they all came to help. And this story is not about him. This story is about our officer. I mean, he created this, and we have a 4-month-old baby that will never know his or her father. This is senseless. I'm angered over the whole thing, but regardless. Any other questions?
Back to the suspect for just a moment. The act of running him over, was that intentional? Was that...
Hey, TVT, that is, listen, nothing is shocking to me anymore, right? You know what I mean?
We intentionally ran him over. What agency? Kern County Sheriff's Office. Don't shoot at cops. You shoot at cops, we're going to run you over. He got run over. He got what he deserved.
Is there any concern with your officers now looking into the house, or concern with explosive booby traps?
We're going to have to check on all of that. We do, and that's a great question. With someone that's so intent on dying, the idea of him having booby traps is a very real scenario. So our bomb team and special dog sniffers will come in, make sure that we don't have booby traps set up. Yeah, a great question, and we will.
Interesting. All right, let's see if we get anything else from this briefing. If not, we're just going to move on because they're just going to circle around and around and around. Here's a statement. Okay, perfect. This is what I was hoping that we would see, some sort of, you know, actual post or statement.
One officer, one deputy has died, and they say now the suspect is dead. After a long standoff, they said he was run over by a bearcat. This statement coming in from Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer. Fresno is roughly north of the city of Porterville. Today is a tragic day in the Central Valley. A Tulare County Sheriff's deputy was taken from us in a senseless act of violence while serving and protecting his community. This loss goes far beyond one department. It's felt across all law enforcement and throughout our valley. The result has left a pregnant wife without her husband and young children to grow up without their father. The reality of this loss is truly heartbreaking. We are praying for the deputy's family. Our hearts are with the Tulare County.
What's up, Kel, up there in Canada? Good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat.
Sheriff's Office and all those who serve. We are devastated by this loss. We'll be back in a moment.
Man, brutal. All right, we're going to have to move on. Portland lockdown. Man threatens firefighters with knife. Listen, man, that doesn't... Why would you threaten the firefighters out of all people? Like, those aren't the ones taking your, or have the ability to take your freedom away. So why are you so hostile? I don't know. We're going to find out together.
To live now from 5.
Oh, you know what? We haven't done shit because you guys have done so amazing supporting the live stream. Because, you know, it's your man's birthday tomorrow. I very much appreciate it. Listen, let's go ahead and give you guys some good propaganda.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Actual factuals.
Denied.
Here we go.
I'm Andy Mack. Let's take you out to a developing story right now in Portland, Oregon, that involves a standoff with a armed, quote, person in crisis. This according to law enforcement there on the ground. And a little bit of a shaky shot right now as the media keeping their distance, but this still feels like a very active scene. As shortly after 2 p.m., crews with Portland Fire and Rescue sent to apartments near South Division Street. According to firefighters, they were confronted by a person armed with a knife. They backed out, asked for officers with the Portland police. Police said...
Don't worry, Liam. I know you're a brokey. It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it.
Smelled some indication of burning, so they're responding to this one. The standoff appears to continue. Let's take you right now out to an update. It appears that the Portland police or fire provided some sort of update to the media. Let's listen in.
Started just about 2 o'clock when East Precinct officers were dispatched to assist Portland Fire and Rescue on a potential fire in an apartment. It's all happening in the 4300 block of Southeast Division Street. Firefighters actually arrived first, and as they typically do in fire situations, they go right in. They want to try to get to the fire as quickly as possible. They know how destructive fire can be if they wait. So they actually figured out which apartment it was, breached the door, and immediately were confronted by someone in the apartment. There's an adult male that we believe lives there who had some kind of edged weapon, a knife or a screwdriver or something like that. So they backed out immediately, notified the police.
How do they not know if it was a knife or a screwdriver? Like, how does he not know that by now?
Already on our way anyway, and so as soon as we got here, we brought a team up to try to determine if there was an active fire happening. And the initial
Yo, Brother Dean coming in with the 10 spot on the super chat, man. I very much appreciate that, man. I'm very honored to be able to have your guys' support and love and you know, also contributions, all that shit, man. Hitting that like button, double tapping that screen. Listen, I very much appreciate you guys.
Initial assessment was that there was nothing.
Yo, Mama, what's up, my man?
Right at the time. They did see and smell some smoke, and there was some evidence that something had been lit on fire at one point, but there was nothing burning at the time. So that gave us a little more time to back off.
Well, Yo Mama, I don't know, man. The whole thing is complex. You know, we can win on a military front on the quote unquote war, but when it comes to a geographical advantage such as the Strait, and it's a major shipping route, this is the part that is we can win on a military level, but they can basically win on a financial and a global level that's going to give us a bad look. Absolutely. So I don't know, man. It's just complicated.
Try to establish some communication and see if we could figure out what was going on and resolve this without having to go in and create a confrontation with this person. So at that point, we called in our specialists.
I appreciate you, Big Dan, by the way.
Special Emergency Reaction Team, CERT, and the Crisis Negotiation Team, CNT. They were called out to help with
What's up,
this.
Gary? Good morning.
They are experts in these types of situations. We believe this is a person that is in some kind of crisis, and so having our crisis team here to do the communication has been critical in making sure that we address it safely.
All right, so let's go ahead and see if we get anything else from this. We may not. He may just sit here and kind of ramble on about, you know, kind of circle. Let's see if we get anything down here. It says Portland, Oregon police provided an update on a standoff with an armed person in crisis. Police said the suspect threatened firefighters who were responding to reports of smoke. Officials said that there is no sign of an active fire and evacuated the surrounding area. The story's developing. I guess they're evacuating the area because of the whole, now there's a threat. I'm assuming. So of course we're going to follow these stories as they break and stuff like that. But nonetheless, we got to move on. Lawmakers call for investigation into Polymarket's geopolitical bets. Now, and by the way, Joseph, I very much appreciate you, my man. So thank you for wishing me a happy birthday or whatever. You know, thank you for showing appreciation. All right, so we're gonna get into this whole thing. Polymarket, if you guys don't know, it's kind of like a odds. I don't necessarily know if it's a betting site, but it is. It gives you odds of what is happening. So like, will Donald Trump be impeached next year? And it'll show like a graph of kind of the odds of it. So anyways, let's go ahead and bring this up and let's go ahead and figure out what the lawmakers are claiming.
Look at the White House on this.
Briefly, by the way, because we still got to get into our next two stories.
Thursday evening, just past 10:45 in the nation's capital. The Associated Press says lawmakers are calling for investigations into the prediction market platform Polymarket after instances of anonymous people making good bets on geopolitical events hours before they occurred. The AP reporting on this. Ken Sweet has the byline for it. Ken's here with me. He writes about banking and...
Yes, and by the way, that would be theoretically true if we can actually pull that off and actually sustain, and it actually be within our control, which I don't know. They have a geopolitical or a geographical advantage because, that's along their coast right there. And they can deploy drones, missiles, anything, from any, they can deploy missiles from underground. They're opening a little thing and then they shoot off and they close right there on the coast. But they're not even using that shit. They would use drones and stuff like that. That's what they've been using.
Consumer issues for the Associated Press. What
Extra
specific
surprise. Good morning.
events have people been
And Admiral Gibbs, good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat, by the way.
betting on that we're aware of, Ken?
All right, so this has been an interesting 2026 for people in the prediction markets. So what has been happening is shortly before a major political event, the ones that are coming to mind is the military strike in Venezuela, the start of the Iran war where Ayatollah Khomeini was killed, and the announcement of President Trump announcing the ceasefire. There's been
Be good up there in Canada, Kel. We always appreciate you. Be safe.
activity on Polymarket where people have been betting that those events will happen within just hours before the event actually happened. These people are almost prophets. And in some ways, they're taking profits. What most recently happened was there was someone who bet that President Trump would announce a ceasefire, and that person made 200 grand just betting a few hours before President Trump made that announcement. And congressmen and women on both sides have wondered whether there might be some insider trading happening, and they would like to have the White House and regulators look into this. And there's even talk of potentially a law being passed to ban this type of trading.
Do we have any indicators, or is there any way to have any clue as to who exactly might be placing these bets?
Nope. The answer is no. So Polymarket's built off of cryptocurrency, and we can see the wallets. So we can see the wallets where the money comes in.
What's up, 5150? Good morning. Happy Felony Friday, my man.
They make the bets, and we can see when that money comes out. But the way that cryptocurrency works is you just simply do not have any identity of who those people are. The other thing that's interesting about...
No, it's just a long number. Okay, let's go ahead and see if there's anything else in this. I really wanted to hear majority of like what the lawmakers' issues are here. Let me see here if we can get some condensed stuff. So according to the Associated Press, that some lawmakers are now calling for an investigation into the prediction market platform Polymarket. This comes after an alleged instances of anonymous people making good bets on major geopolitical events hours before they occurred. Lawmakers in both parties are now calling for tighter oversight. Definitely interesting. Says Polymarket user recently made a $400,000 profit by betting that Venezuela leader Nicolas Maduro would be out of office hours before Maduro was captured. Wow. Yep. Totally interesting. All right. Well, we're going to move on. So earlier this morning, just a couple hours ago, we got an update. Iran's latest. Vance speaks ahead of talks in Pakistan. Now, this is a very brief little thing. It's only 2 minutes long. But quickly, let's go ahead and see what they've got here for us. So it looks like this evening, sometime, the Artemis 2 splashdown is going to happen. What's up, Frank? My man, good morning. Great to see you in the chat. Let's go ahead and speed up and see if we can... Okay, it's just him walking off. He's walking over there in Pakistan. Or Fried Friday. That's right, Admiral Gibbs. Facts. That's facts, 5150.
Hey guys, good morning. Thanks for coming. Look, we're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see. As the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're...
What's up, Motobomb? Great to see you in the chat, bro. Good morning.
...certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The President has gave us some pretty clear guidelines. and we're going to see. So I hope you guys have a safe flight. We'll certainly take some questions later on, but for now, let's get on the plane and hit the road. Thank you all.
All right. Give me a second. All right. So there you go. There he is walking off. So also about an hour and a half ago, Iranians used as quote unquote human shields amid strikes. Let's go ahead and bring this up. And we'll briefly also discuss this. Let's go ahead and bring this up.
Bring in senior political correspondent with the Daily Mail, Alina Shirazi, into the show here. Alina, thank you so much for joining us today. I wanted to start off real quick. You were at the White House press briefing.
Man, that is a lot of makeup, man.
On Wednesday, and you had a question for Caroline Levitt that I just want to play out here as we kick this off.
Damn, is she lagging that much? Oh, they're gonna show it.
Blackout. One of my family members yesterday said goodbye to me. So what message should we be sending Iranians when they message me saying what
I remember this chick asking this question. This is the White House press briefing.
they be doing right now? How should they stay safe? Because they really don't know what to do.
I think the president's main priority and my main priority as his spokeswoman is to make sure that clear messages are sent to the American people, of course, which is my job today. With respect to the Iranian people, the president, has taken
What's up, SST? Good morning.
the imminent threat that was posed by their military to the United States, to our allies in the region, to our forces in the region. And of course, as the president has long said, he hopes that Iran will be a country of peace, of prosperity, and we're moving into this
Wild card, shout out to you. Good morning.
This next round of negotiations to hopefully come to an agreement with this new regime that will create long-term stability in the Middle East.
Alina, and just listening to that exchange and what you said where you had to call a family member and say goodbye, just kind of walk me through your thoughts of that exchange there.
Yeah, this was actually my first White House briefing. I used to cover the White House under Biden, but I was the early morning reporter, so it was really just a backdrop at that point, right at 7, 8, 9 a.m. But getting added to the White House team here at Daily Mail, I knew I had the weight of not only the countless questions that are facing Americans right now, but the hundreds of Iranians who are counting on me, and it's a matter of survival for them. So to your point, I think Caroline almost knew how badly I needed to get that question answered. I was making a lot of eye contact, shooting my hand up, being really aggressive, trying to get her attention. She made eye contact with me a couple times. Thankfully, I got her attention. So you heard there, I asked what I should go back and tell Iranians when they asked me what they should be doing right now and how they should stay safe after President Trump said that he would wipe out their civilization if their leaders didn't come to the table.
Yeah, that shit was next level. That was crazy.
I think I saw it get through to her a little bit, especially given how I humanized the issue in the briefing room. Honestly, I don't think she expected that question at all, to be honest. She said she thinks the president's main priority and her main priority that day kind of
Exactly, Cameron. She's not unattractive. I can guarantee it. You know what I mean? Like, just, you don't need to cake it up that much.
She phrased it, she was kind of slow rolling into it to figure out what she was going to say, I think, is to make sure that clear messages are sent to the American people. And ended saying with this next round of negotiations this weekend that they will hopefully come to an agreement, but that really didn't answer the question. Unfortunately, I don't have a good answer to go back to for the people of Iran and for the many Iranian Americans who are worried about their loved ones, Bowen.
And I just wanted to play the follow-up you had real quick as well, if we can dip back into that press briefing from Wednesday.
Said that they should stay inside of their homes and also take back their country. So there's a contradiction there. So how do you address that?
Again, we're moving into this next round of negotiations with the remnants of the regime and those that we are speaking with now to hopefully reach a place of peace long term for the region. And that includes the Iranian people as well.
Yeah, man, that didn't answer her question, though. Caroline.
And then hearing that, and I want you to talk about also your background with Iran and your family there, just so our viewers get a sense of that and your response or what you took away from this exchange on Wednesday.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that they actually caught the traitor, the guy, the leaker.
I followed up there pointing out a contradiction. Trump has asked the people of Iran to rise up, and he has also asked them to stay inside of their homes, and there has been really no clear communications or follow-up or messaging for Iranians on what to do next. I mean, Iranians are asking what to do to survive. They're not asking, questions that might not impact them immediately. And the answer that they're getting, and what I took from all of that, is we're doing our best on the American side. They're talking about the latest on negotiations. Caroline talked about messaging. She's definitely good at her job. She definitely...
What up, TJ? Happy Felony Friday. Good morning.
...skirted around it. And I think a lot of people, when I was looking at the comments as well, they weren't satisfied with
Gary,
what she had said there. You mentioned the family connection. I brought that up to her, hoping to get through to her so she could answer that question a bit better. I am worried about family and friends, as are a lot of us right now. It's even higher.
I'm sure most people are worried on that level. Yes, especially if you have family over there. All right, Netanyahu orders more strikes on Hezbollah despite peace talks in D.C. This just came out an hour ago. Israeli Prime Minister is authorizing direct talks with Lebanon. In a statement, the Netanyahu said, quote, in light of Lebanon's repeated request to open direct negotiations with Israel, I instructed at the government meeting yesterday to open direct negotiations with Lebanon as soon as possible. The negotiations will focus on disarming of Hezbollah and establishing of peaceful relations between Israel and Lebanon. All right, so let's go and bring this up. And also, we got to embrace our fuck-ups around here, too.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups? Don't you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck-up. And fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Embrace thy process. And we got Brother Steve that's got a gem. Always appreciate you, man. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning for members only. We'll see you then. Be safe out there.
Potential talks that take place between Israel and Lebanon, specifically related there to Hezbollah as the strikes continue. Right now, what I want to do is bring in Shosh Bedrosian. She is the spokesperson for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office, joining us live to discuss all of this. And Shosh, thank you so much for being here with us.
What a name.
Gosh, thanks for having me.
Of course. And first off, I wanted to start by kind of asking you about where everything stands with those talks, the significance of it, and really what we can expect.
Sure. So the prime minister announced yesterday, on Thursday, that he actually instructed his team, his cabinet, the day before to begin these direct negotiations with Lebanon. This comes after several requests from the government there to create this dialogue, because what is happening with Hezbollah is a serious conflict. What we are working to do, Josh, and as you are showing the skyline of Beirut on your viewer screens right now, is to dismantle, to demilitarize, to disarm a terror organization, a genocidal terror organization that has built its mass against our northern border, not only threatening our civilians on our northern border, but also in central Israel in addition.
Yo, real quick, we got Bob up there in Canada. Very much appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying your Felony Friday, as well as Josh Phillips over there on the Facebook side of things. Great to see you. Bust a clip for me today? You absolutely know it. Always appreciate
Plus, the Lebanese people who have been held hostage by another Iranian terror proxy that surrounds the state of Israel. You probably have reported, Josh, just over the last few days, these explosions that took place in Beirut just a few days ago. You've probably seen those images all over social media. But I'll tell you one thing. The headlines got the story wrong.
Hey, Aaron Olinger, we very much appreciate you, my man. Hopefully you're also enjoying your Friday morning so far.
By the press, somehow these journalists covering this conflict failed to mention Hezbollah in all of this. And you see that completely omitted, whether it's on purpose or whether they just simply don't know what they're reporting on, Josh. I want to tell you, Hezbollah is the problem here. This is not a conflict. This is not an operation against the Lebanese people. This is to free the Lebanese people of a terror regime that embeds themselves in the heart of civilian communities and in populations. There is no reason why weapons and infrastructure of a terror organization should be underneath homes and inside of apartment buildings and complexes in the heart of Beirut. But this is what Israel is working to do, to target these infrastructures of this terror proxy and regime of the Ayatollah regime in Iran, and to make sure it no longer exists and poses a threat to us.
Now, you guys got to remember, she's a part of the Israeli government, okay? So she is literally Netanyahu's spokesperson, as you guys know. When you guys see the briefings that are done by Israel, she is now the person that does it.
And you kind of touched on this there, but I wanted to ask you specifically, because we know over the past several days, one thing we've heard about this peace plan between the U.S., Israel, and Iran is that it...
That's crazy, 5150. My dad lived in Redondo Beach for many years as well.
Does not include Beirut, which of course
Before
is why
I was
the talks
born.
are necessary there. I wanted to ask you specifically why that is maybe a red line for Netanyahu, saying that it can't include Beirut right now. We need to continue those operations against the Hezbollah terror group.
Yeah, by the way, TVT, remember that old guy? Well, he wasn't really that old. He was just kind of big, and he sounded like he was actually kind of from like London, and like, I don't know. Anyways, it sounded like he was British or whatever. But that guy is no longer. This is the one that took over right around when Trump got in. So on his second term here.
Well, look, the prime minister made it clear yesterday that there is no ceasefire in Lebanon right now because it is so critical to dismantle this terror organization. You know, we've learned the very difficult way on October 7th what happens when a terror organization says what they mean. When they want to destroy us, when they say they want to murder us, we need to believe them. When it comes to Hamas, it's the same mentality with Hezbollah. We have to believe this genocidal terror organization that's up on our northern border. Josh, actually, last night, because we're in a ceasefire right now, of course, we didn't expect any sirens to sound here in central Israel, coming from Iran. I want your viewers to know that we actually had sirens go off around 1:30 a.m. here in Tel Aviv, and it was actually from a long-range Hezbollah rocket that targeted this area. They pose a direct threat to the Israeli people and the Lebanese people as well. You're looking at a statement the prime minister put out yesterday specifically on these talks, and there's two objectives when it comes to these negotiations that should take place within the next coming days or so. Is the first one, we want to see Hezbollah disarmed. Remember, there was a ceasefire in place between Israel and Hezbollah back in 2024 that was established.
Correct. And we covered that whole ordeal. And then we realized that the ceasefire wasn't actually with Hezbollah. It was actually with the Lebanese government. And so that doesn't necessarily reflect on Hezbollah. So there was a lot of complications in that as well.
They were not disarmed by the Lebanese government, which was a commitment that was made. We are expecting these negotiations to get us to a place where there no longer is a terror organization. And two,
no kidding, SST.
We want long-term peace with Lebanon. We want to be able to have a relationship with this country. You know, we used to have a relationship with Lebanon back in the day, and our people used to be able to move freely within this area we are in the Middle East. In addition to trade, we want to have a peace treaty with Lebanon and the Lebanese people as well.
One thing that's interesting is you hear a lot of folks that talk about the situation there in Lebanon, Beirut specifically, and they refer to it almost as if it's one operation there, both Lebanon together with Hezbollah, but they are very different. Can you explain for folks out there maybe how the Lebanese people in general feel about the Hezbollah terror group?
Sure, this is certainly, and I can assure you, not an operation against the Lebanese people. And I'll make that very, very clear. Any strikes the IDF is taking is working to remove any type of threat to the civilian population. In addition, these are precision strikes. This is an operation to once again liberate another community in the Middle East who is suffering under the terror reign of another Iranian terror proxy. I'll also put some blame on the media. Unfortunately, with the headlines completely omitting Hezbollah from this conflict, it's creating confusion as to why Israel is striking.
Man, 5150, you're speaking all my lingo. You know what I mean? Mainly for me, it was, San Pedro, Long Beach, Orange County. I was a part of Orange County for a bit. Absolutely crazy. My mom grew up in Torrance. Fucking crazy.
In these specific areas, civilian neighborhoods.
I worked out of San Pedro.
In addition to southern Lebanon, it's because Hezbollah hides their infrastructure amongst the civilian population, using their own people as human shields. They have done this for decades. The question that most journalists, Josh, are not even asking when it comes to this conflict is, why are there Hezbollah infrastructure, weapon depots, military sites located in the heart of civilian communities? This is the question that needs to be asked. And the answer is they want to maximize civilian harm for propaganda purposes. Israel does everything that we can to try to reduce any type of civilian casualties. That's what we have done in every single conflict. We will continue to do that because we're working with precision strikes. But unfortunately, when the media is spreading one narrative, it's hard for the rest of the world to understand that. This is not an operation against the Lebanese people. It is to remove this terror reign, this terror organization of Hezbollah that has been holding them hostage for decades.
And my last question.
Well, just don't take out like fucking apartment buildings and shit. You know what I mean?
Here before I let you go, and again, you touched on this there, but I wanted to ask.
I'll let this last question slide.
Specifically, how is the IDF, the Israeli military, everyone in Israel there, working to ensure that the civilians of Lebanon are safe as these strikes, the precision strikes there against Hezbollah, are underway?
Sure. Well, the IDF uses incredible intelligence that we have gathered when it comes to these locations and civilian populations, and also, of course, in southern Lebanon. Remember, the only reason why we're doing this is because our people are under direct threat. We had a ceasefire in place in 2024, which unfortunately was broken by Hezbollah just last month after Operation Roaring Lion was launched. Hezbollah, what they're working to do is to defend the Ayatollah regime. They're not defending the Lebanese people. They're actually defending the terror regime inside of Iran that is also holding their own people hostage as well. So when it comes to this, we are working to defend our people. We're going to continue to do that. And we're going to ensure that there is security for the future and peace. Prime Minister Netanyahu has made that clear. We are working to establish peace in the Middle East. And the campaigns that have gone on, whether it's Operation Roaring Lion or the operation to eliminate, disarm, demilitarize demilitarize the terror proxy Hezbollah is to create peace, a sustainable peace in the region for all of us together, Josh.
All right, that's gonna end us right there, ladies and gentlemen. We are caught up with the media today. Listen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough. Obviously, I cannot do this shit without you guys, and I'm very blessed to be able to do it. Also, make sure you guys stick around. We're going to be rating our buddy JS Urban Adventures. I guess he's doing some debate prep or whatever. So go ahead and go over there. Let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. And also hit the like button before we head on out of here. And double tap that screen if you're on the vertical side. Listen, we're going to be back not tomorrow morning for the World's Madness, but for members only. And then, of course, we're off Sunday. That's our one day off. And then we're back to the World's Madness on Monday morning. So anyways, much love, honor, respect, everybody. God bless everyone. And hopefully you all enjoy your Friday and your weekend. We'll see you guys very soon. Much love.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready.
Sterling, my man, let's go.
Down the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned.